This chord length is going to drive me insane. Hey peeps, Pickles is seen here recording post-comm because the actual recording session... Well, you're gonna see it here and now, but I thought I was recording my voice fine. This is the Reef because the Reef has apparently got another renovation, which, since it's a new stage, requires me to go back in and see what's up about it. So, you obviously know the stage's internal name already. I think it's the second stage to receive a 02 in the name. The first one's Starfish. I think about the stage is too different. It seems they got rid of the dynamic tree up there. Apparently it has no use anymore. I guess this was apparently in response to like a Rainmaker thing or something where the spawn was way too cramped up. You can tell they just posed those models in, like they got the regular Inkling model and posed it and then made the... They did the same thing for Museum, which I didn't mention, but here you go, I guess. The spawn is a lot wider, along with the fact they've put, like, assets of the various brands as banners now, which they didn't do in the old one because most of them, like, weren't really prominent at that point. Also seems like they kelp domed the spawn, so spawn keeping's still gonna happen, but it's just gonna be farther back now. This area seems to have new depth. It was pretty flat before. Like the fact that it's now more of a slope. Seems these boxes are still the same. They are, I think they're separate because someone was doing something with them and they were different. They weren't there when someone loaded them initially. Apparently also, by the way, the bridge is a separate object. They just take off the bridge in the turf and calculate the turf on the bridge and then under it. That's how at Schellendorf and it do the same thing, apparently. Okay, I think I was saying something about stage geometry here and then failed that because I was meant to sort of show you the weird layering thing is happening. This area is much wider now. Oh yeah, I think I commented about the ground here, but the ground sort of looks a bit weird. I don't really know how to describe it. Where I was just standing. I think I'm testing dynamic stuff here, and then I notice here's a bunker. It's a big one, 02. Seems they reduced the number of them. I think it's just that one that's in the stage now. Tree, same as before. Oh well, countdown. But yeah, the tree's the same, and it's now, if it wasn't obvious before, now it definitely is obvious because it's still given its own hill for it. I think I was gonna go back to that area, so don't worry about it. Yeah, I think I was explaining something here. Again, I'm post-comming because my whole session just blew up. And I'm not about to record it again. Also seems that box there, that one that's wooden, seems that it's a general box, same as before, but remember what I said about contextualizing the props in Inkblot Art Academy, they've probably done that here for this particular box. Oh yeah, also the grass is, the grass, I think, is slightly moved, so I'm gonna spend a bit to get you to look at it to see, because normally if I were to do it, I would probably count the little rocky bit on the edges. Yeah, okay, that should be enough time. And now for the box. Again, they've probably contextualized the wooden box. It's still a general box in shape, it's just they've given it the same wooden texture as the ones in that path to the left of spawn. not much is different here. This is all just stage geometry because of the way you touch it. They've probably just added a bunch of stuff here, like, to make it more dynamic, I guess, but like the bridge kind of has an obvious separation there, and of course the fact that it has to calculate what's under the bridge as well. The bridge itself isn't that much different. The box is still there. I think they just copy pasted the box from the middle to the bottom area now, instead of just leaving it as a general box. Otherwise it's just basically the same. Yeah, I think I'm pointing out the similarities, because I originally commentated this live, of course, but I had to compromise. Other than that, there's not really that much different in the actual stage. Those rotating things are still there. Not sure if they've swapped. I'll go check that in a moment. But if they have, then that's probably another change, because again, I always start on Recon, you always start on the Team A side, no matter what. So it could be something. Looks like, it doesn't look like much else was changed. Also, there's a lack of bunker where I just walked past, but I don't think I was concerned about that yet. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was on the gear that was there. Also, oh yeah, the flags. Since they're moving, they're probably either separate or like separate inside the Reef's file, because they're moving. And they're moving, they have animations, they have bones for that animation, so they can't be in the same place as the stage. Also, now there's fences here. I think there were fences before, but it's like, I think the water is now for if you accidentally swim off in squid form, or if there's like some sort of rail or something in ranked. Because no, the honor for falling off accidentally, like with dodge rolling dualies, goes to Sturgeon Shipyard, which the stage was paired with when I was playing it here. Also, apparently there's a tree up there. It looks just as dynamic as the other ones in terms of like actual model quality. I'm trying to burst bomb it to see if it reacts to it, but like there's some sort of invisible wall all around it. Maybe it's placed in the out of bounds, and that's not really an invisible wall, but because of the model quality, I'd be pretty safe to assume that it's, you know, it's not just in the stage already. You would have to place that there manually. So I'd super jump back, see if I can attack it here. Obviously not. So I'm soon going to give you a view of where it's, you know, placed. Because see, I'm trying to show you the bottom where it's attached to. That should be enough of a view now. Also, hi, here's a sponge. I totally forgot about it. Also, I think I inked way too much here, so there's no way you'll be able to get reference of anything. So... Restart! Now, I'm not going to make any promises here. I'm going to try and ink it again, and I'll try and make it as little of a mess as possible. Yeah, no promises. I already failed. Definitely much less than before, though. So, here's where the sponge is at full size. And of course, an enemy could only really get up here if it was staged, where the enemy hops on and then for some reason the player on your team shoots the sponge but not the player, but like the hitboxes would overlap, I think, so that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Especially with the mentality of this game, the other player would be dead anyway before they even got the chance to jump. Also, lack of a bunker here. Yeah, there used to be one, like right there with the crossing there, and it's not there anymore. Which now makes the ground look a little awkward in terms of the transition. I'll soon swim around it to show why. Other than that, there's really not much different about the stage. They changed the boxes, they moved some trees, that's it, and, you know, widened the bridge and the spawn point. So yeah, I'm trying to look around to see if there are any sort of minor details, like things moving or whatever, that weren't really dynamic or whatever before. I don't really think there's anything. In terms of my opinion, though, like, this stage has definitely gotten a bit better with the idea that it's set in this world in terms of, like, how it's designed or something. Because before, it seemed a bit too cramped and flat for me to really think of it as a real place. Like, even just, like, the addition of that area has really helped a lot. I think I'll go back in, because I think I'm explaining this as well. To try and re-explain it is going to be a bit weird. But yeah, like, before, the area, well, obviously they removed the trees, so what the heck context. But, like, this area here where I'm standing, beforehand obviously didn't exist, but, like, why would it be so thin, the area in particular? Because, and also the addition of this little shop here. Obviously, like, an actual fight isn't, like, really gonna partake here, but, like, in the street, you would imagine a kind of shop being there, as well as this little alcove. Like, obviously, for a fight, I mean, obviously, like, okay, for, like, a Rainmaker area or something, it's fine, but, like, if this is supposed to be a general street, it would be a bit weird if it was just this little flat area, which is what it was before. So now there's a little, you know, alcove here, so then people can hang up on the top or be down there, which makes a lot more sense contextually than, you know, just the tiny hallway it was before, which is where I'm standing. Because, like, maybe someone wants to chill up here in secret or something. The stage just makes a whole lot more sense contextually now. So I kind of like it a bit more for that compared to what it was before. Especially the area up there with the wooden boxes, how there's more depth in terms of the slope. It was a bit too flat before. Anyway, the bunker being gone kinda doesn't help with the transition here, because I mean, you could kind of see it anyway, but the bunker was the main image here, but, like, it's now like a giant strange looking square. It kind of looks slightly unnatural. Only just slightly, considering that they've done an amazing job with the rough textures to make one think, oh, this is actually ground, but it does kind of look weird when you're actually staring at it. But yeah, there's not much different. There's trees, grass, boxes, and bunkers. They seem to have removed one, so if anything, the stage is probably simpler now than its predecessor, I guess. And the bridge, obviously, and whatever objects are on the bridge, like this box here. And that other tree near spawn, but other than those things, there's really not much different. Anyway, that's it, and if they ever make another map have one, I'll probably record again, but as of now, I see no reason to, and I'm not gonna do skate park because it's an old stage, and I've already told you why I don't do the old stages, but if you really want to know, they just help them to spawn, that's it. There's literally no other changes to the stage. So, see you all, have a good day, peace, and I'll see you whenever the next video happens. If it happens. I hope not. I want this to be the last one.